Welcome back to the Bourbon Note, everybody. It's a solo live, so most of you probably know why, but we'll get into that in a second here. So first of all, let me just kind of finish getting set up. I do have some bourbon-related stuff for tonight, but I also have, if you saw the kind of the thumbnail or whatever, sort of the state of the channel address, I guess. When I maybe we'll get into that if we'll let a few more people file in here. Let's get into the chat. We got Bourbon Syndicate. What's up, Rusty? Katie Turk, what's happening? Haven't seen you in a while. We've got Piper John is in the house. What's happening? Hatfield Barbecue, finally here for the start of a live. Well, that is awesome. All right, Gandy Road is here. What's happening? All right, Russ L, welcome. All right, we have a few more people filing in here, but just let me know in the chat how many of you watched the recent major update to the channel video, because that's going to have a lot to do with what goes on tonight. But again, I want to try to address that when there's, usually it takes a little while for people to kind of get into the chat, so in order to not have to just go over that whole subject over and over again, I'm just going to give it maybe a few minutes. I'll tell you guys that are here right now. Russ did. Okay, watch them all. Piper John, I know you do. Piper John's always good for, even if he doesn't have a comment on the video, he's always got at least a cheers or something to keep us getting those comments. Bourbon School is here. What's up? Brian Peter White is here. All right, now we're cooking with gas. We've got JT is here. What's happening, JT? Haven't heard from you in a while. Kaboomerang Finch. That's an awesome handle. Okay, so a few of you have already said you saw it. It looks like there's still more people coming in. So I don't mind repeating what my bourbon related content is. Eric Ellis, what's happening? So tonight I kind of came up with this last minute because I figured my whole state of the channel pitch was not going to take the amount of time I usually like to spend on a live stream. So I kind of came up last minute with the idea I was going to pair two of the Bookers versus two Knob Creek single barrels, and as I was pouring them about 4 minutes before I went live here, the Bourbon Jerk, what's happening? Hey, Bourbon Jerk, I don't always miss it, or you don't put your name in your videos, or just none of the ones I've seen. What's your actual name? I think when I put that video out about the channels you should be watching, somebody did comment and say what your name was, but anyway, so let me just adjust a light here real quick. Sorry about that. I always forget sometimes that when I do live streams, it live streams in 720p, so that it makes it a little bit darker than when I actually film video, so I kind of have to change that around. All right, we've got Sugar Kitty in the house. So anyway, getting into the flight here, my intent was to do two Bookers versus two Knob Creek single barrels and just kind of do a blind flight. I've got Glenn's behind here. 4 pours. I realized just before hopping on here just before I was hopping on here that I don't have another Knob Creek single barrel, so I had to go with the Knob Creek 12 cask strength, which is 120.5. So if you've ever wondered what the difference between a cask strength and a single barrel, it's 0.5 in the proof. So Mikey Likey Whiskey is here. What's happening? Well, this is good to have all you guys here because while I have done solo live streams before, this is going to kind of be the thing now. So if I was just sitting here for this first one all by myself, just talking to no one, hoping people watched it on the repeat, it'd probably get a little awkward. So let me see if I can. There we go. Anyway. Dean D, the show is going on. By the way, is the audio and everything okay? I kind of hopped on here very last minute. So we just put out our Whiskey Tube channels vid today. Oh yeah, that's right. I've been meaning to watch that. I have not. I was going to watch it actually last night when the Patreon came out. But I have not gotten around to it yet. I didn't have my normal day of driving around listening to stuff. So anyway, let's get into the topic at hand before we get into the flight here. For those of you guys that don't know, audio clear and sounding good. All right, thank you. For those of you that don't know, if you haven't seen the video I put out the other day, the Bourbon Note is now a solo channel. Greg has retired from the Whiskey Tube game, so from now on it's going to just be me. I'm going to rehash some of the stuff I said in the video, just like I said, in case there's people watching or even watching on the rebroadcast that didn't hear all that. Greg just decided he's got some other stuff going on in his life that he wants to focus his time and energy into that are important to him, and that's great. And so he just kind of made the decision that it gets kind of difficult to get together all the time and film videos and stuff like that, and he's just not maybe keeping up with the whole Whiskey Tube thing as much as he used to. And visually, thank goodness, no polyester blue suits. I almost wore it tonight, Sugar Kitty. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to make it very clear at the beginning of that video, and again, for people that didn't see it, make it clear now, this was not like a falling out with me and Greg or anything like that. It just kind of became a time thing. We've actually been discussing this kind of behind the scenes for a few weeks now, he's been kicking around kind of what he wants to do, with his time, where the channel goes and stuff like that. So ultimately, he just kind of decided, going to focus my time and energy elsewhere. And that's great. I wish Greg the best of luck on that. So, and like I said in the video, that's definitely not a good buy for me because I live across the street from him, so I'll still see Greg. I know you guys are going to miss seeing him on the channel and having to put up with me doing solo videos now. So that's kind of a, kind of an adjustment. I know a few of you out there, Bourbon Jerk's got a solo channel, Bobby, Myron, Sean. Now, there's a bunch of people, a bunch of our friends that have solo channels, but for me, it's kind of weird because I've been doing this for 3 years with somebody else to bounce back and forth and stuff like that. And so switching over to just doing bourbon reviews by myself is going to be an adjustment for me for sure. But, just trying to find the stride on that and try to, kind of get a little more comfortable with it. Not that I'm uncomfortable with the idea of doing it, but just trying to find out what the best way of doing that is. Troy from Baker Drinks, what's happening? Are you sure he wasn't just afraid of the trash pallet challenge? You know what? We've been talking about this for long enough that I didn't even get a chance to tell him about it, Troy. But you know what? I shouldn't have even said that. Let's rewind. Yes, he was afraid of the trash pallet challenge. I didn't mean to take that away from you, Troy. So anyway, let's get some background music on here too. Keep this off camera, the red Solo cup. I do have some information coming up. There's going to be some changes coming to the channel. Mainly, obviously the big change is going to be me alone here, but mainly to the Patreon. So that'll be coming up too. Stick around for that. Let me get my music going here real quick. I always like to have the background music. And then I'll let you guys in on what is going to be new with that. No need for background music. Don't lie, it was his choice in snacks. Well, there always has been the background infighting with the choice of snacks. So. I have to admit, was mighty jealous of the Costco hunt. May have been worth a drive for me if I had known. Hatfield, I was just there today. They still have more of that Four Roses single barrel strength. They have pretty much everything left that they had when I was there. They only have a little bit of the Four Roses left, but I was shocked that they still had some. Anybody who watched that, I don't think I mentioned this in the video, but so the Costco was their grand opening, and it said on the internet that they open at 9:30. So I got there a little before 9:30. I figured it'd be there right when it opened. Yes, Hatfield, the Chaska store on Highway 41. So I figured I'd get there a little bit early, and then I get there at 9:20 because I was running a little bit late. And the whole store is full, and it turns out they opened at 8 o'clock. And so I missed it by the opening by an hour and a half. And in the comments of the short that I put up, somebody actually told me when they opened the store, they had Old Fitzgerald 10-year decanter bottles. So I totally whiffed on that. But he also did tell me that there were people waiting in line to get in since like 5 in the morning. And I'm sure as hell I'm not doing that. So more power to the people that did, though. They got a killer bottle. So my Costco has no liquor. I was looking forward to KC store picks. Yeah, Costco, D&D, what state are you in? Because ours, so Minnesota has terrible liquor laws. You can't have, Ryan Frank is in the house. You cannot sell booze like in a liquor or a grocery store or gas station. You can sell 3-2 beer and that's it. So Minnesota is, I think it's like the last holdout, because I think even Utah now isn't doing that. I got a lash going in my eye right now. Awesome when that happens live on the internet. Have you cracked open the Four Roses yet? Yes, I have. The review comes out tomorrow. It's up on Patreon right now. Anyway, I was saying like our laws in Minnesota for liquor are terrible. You can't buy liquor at the grocery store, and if a grocery store does have a liquor store, it has to be a separate, like it can be in the same building, but you can't access the liquor store from the grocery store. So 2 separate entrances. It's really weird. So anyway, the Costco's in Minnesota are like that, but because of our stupid liquor laws, there's one advantage, and you cannot have a private like liquor store, like club liquor store. So in Minnesota, you can shop at Costco Liquor and Sam's Club Liquor without a membership. So that's actually one of the small, minute advantages we have. Austin, Texas Costco's Liquor was there yesterday, in fact. Yeah, California, Bobby's always doing hunt videos at Costco. Okay, so let me get into what I was going to say is changing about the channel now that Greg is no longer on the channel. Ryan Frank is here. I don't know if he saw that video or not. Ryan, let me know if you saw that video. This is why I was waiting to talk about that, because now there's like 10 more people in the chat. So anyway, Greg is no longer on the channel. He's just focusing on some other things that he wants to put his time and energy into. At the end of the day, this is a hobby, and hobbies don't last forever. We did this for, almost 3.5 years, and, he's kind of ready to move on and kind of focus his interests into different things. So that's what's going on there. Cannot sell liquor wine in any kind of grocery store. Same in New Jersey, must be separate. Yep. In Cali, we can also shop liquor at Costco and Sam's with. Oh, nice. They have to walk you in. Weird, which is annoying. Usually I sneak it, look like with another member. Yeah, that's probably the better way to do that. So let me get into what's going to change on the channel. It's mainly going to be on live streams, and it's mainly going to be on the Patreon. But check this out. I'm going to start doing giveaways, sample flight giveaways in pretty much all the live streams. And so the way it's going to work, I know tons of other channels do this. Greg and I have been meaning to start doing this for the longest time, and we just never got around to it because trying to coordinate our live streams, we usually just ended up like deciding that morning, hey, let's do a live stream tonight. And so we never really got around to organizing this. So please tell me Greg took up knitting. Let's just go with that. And so anyway, so now I'm going to keep this a little more organized just because we don't have to coordinate schedules anymore. And so I'm going to do the wheel, the randomizer wheel and usually what I'm going to do is kind of take whatever I'm drinking that month, what I'm doing reviews of, or if I get something cool, I'll fill up a sample bottle with it and maybe do like 2, 3, 4 sample bottles per package, per giveaway. And so all of our live streams, we're going to have that now. If you want to get in on the raffle, the giveaway, you can throw a $5 super chat to get your name on the wheel. Or, and this is the better deal, and this is kind of a pitch here, but if you go to the Patreon, I changed all the things. So if you sign up at the $3 level, you get your name in the raffle every single drawing every month. If you sign up at the $5, you get 2 entries, $7, 3 entries, $10, 4 entries, and there's one person at a $20 level with 8 entries. So if you want to get in on the raffles, instead of throwing $5 for one raffle, you can throw $5 and get 2 entries for every single raffle I do. So that would help me out a ton because now I'm going forward doing this channel by myself, so the expense of it is all on me as well. So if you guys are interested in the Patreon, you get the videos early. There's blend videos, there's behind the scenes stuff. Just join the Patreon, Hatfield Barbecue. Thank you so much. I'm going to have to, at some point before, because I am going to do a drawing tonight, and I think the drawing is going to be for, I'm just going to do some of the stuff that I've already done this month. So maybe like that Bernheim barrel proof. I did a video of that. I also did the Four Roses single barrel, the OBSQ. I'll throw in one of that, and then I've got I just did the Elijah Craig B524, so I could throw some of that in, but some of you might already have that. But either way, I'm going to put together a 3-sample flight tonight, and whoever joins tonight, before I do the wheel, I'll add your name to the wheel. So, or if you want to throw in a $5 super chat to get on the wheel, you can. So anyway, thank you, Hatfield, for joining the Patreon. Is there any chance I could, Patreon, Four Roses barrel strength, that's not in my area at all. Yeah, the Patreon, and it's gonna, the Patreon, Dean, is gonna have it's got some behind the scenes stuff, some blend videos. I'm gonna get back to doing those because now I'm gonna be filming on a more regular basis with all the equipment set up. Whereas before, I was filming those before or after Greg and I would do a video, because otherwise I didn't have all my equipment set up. So all this stuff on the Patreon, the blend videos especially, that's all gonna go up. If we start getting a ton of people on the Patreon, I'll start doing Patreon only live streams. I won't stop doing these, those will just be extra. But yeah, you get the videos a day early, and again, whatever level you sign up for, and it'll say on the tiers, you get X amount of entries into every single drawing I do, and I'm probably gonna be doing a drawing in all my live streams. So usually at least 2-3 a month. The only caveat is, and I need to put this on the thing, you can only win once a month. So that's the only thing. That way, if somebody who has, a ton of entries on there doesn't win it every single time. And at this point, there's not a ton of people in the Patreon, so your chances of winning are fairly decent. Any plans to open up the lives to viewer participation? I know a guy that would join. I bet you do. Maybe in the future. It just depends. I am going to start having guests more often, and so that's another thing is being able to plan these ahead. Start booking guests, start doing some whiskey trivia night in America. The thing is, Rusty, is I usually just do 1 hour. That's about the time that I can afford on a Wednesday night. And so I think opening it up to more people, I think would work better, especially if I'm having guests that we're trying to accomplish something, maybe doing trivia or just doing an interview or something. If I was doing 2-3 hours, I probably would, but I don't know if I'll get around to that just doing the 1 hour on Wednesdays. So, all right, let's get into this flight here because I've been boring you guys. Thank you for listening to my Patreon pitch. Like I said, every little bit helps, and you have a good chance of winning some pretty cool samples. Oh, the other thing I want to do with that is also now that I can plan my reviews out a little bit better and I can plan the live streams out a little bit better, what I'd like to do is actually do the drawing on the live stream for the reviews that come out the following week. That way I can kind of have a winner that's like an at-home reviewer, and you can drink the sample that you get along with my review. So stay tuned for that. Oh, also I'm going to up the merch on the Patreon, so I will probably be adding some merch to different tiers. But the truth is that Greg made all the merch that we had, and I don't want to pester him trying to get him to make merch for the channel now. So I am going to need a little bit of time on that to see where I can get the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. But I do have plans for that. My mouth is watering for the Four Roses, but talk about blending, that would be interesting. Yeah, maybe it'll make its way into a blend. Dean, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with them, I've done a couple live. Basically, I go on the wheel and I upload my entire bourbon collection, and then I spin the wheel to find out how many bourbons I'm going to blend, and then I spin the wheel to find out which ones they are, and I just make that blend and drink it. Or sometimes I'll create a blend. I kind of do a few different things, but yeah, it's fun stuff. So my plan going forward is to really up the Patreon game, just for the people that are already on there, because I already have people that have been supporting us for a while, and so I want to just kind of give more to them going forward. Everyone, remember to lick the like and like the lick. It won't give you cat scratch fever at all. Trust me, I don't know about that. Hey, Sugar Kitty, could I trouble you to throw the Patreon link up, or any mods that are in here? And then, yeah, let's get into the flight here. So here's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Like I said at the beginning, I was trying to figure out if the Knob Creek store picks would hold up to the Booker's. And then I realized I only had one Knob Creek store pick, so I subbed in a Knob Creek 12-year cask strength, which I think is probably not fair because this might be the best one on here. But let's get into it. That kind of blending sounds interesting. I just tried to replicate the KC bourbon and rye combo. How'd that turn out? So I'm just going to go through this. Tiller's Bourbon Challenge, what's happening? This is the other thing that's new for me is, when Greg and I are doing flights like this, one of us is kind of doing, the other one's talking. Now it's just me, so when I'm sitting here trying to nose stuff and taste it, I'm trying not to be boring, which is difficult for me because, maybe I'm a boring guy. I don't know. Ben, do you have an infinity bottle at all? No, that's actually one thing, Hatfield, that I've been wanting to do for a while. And I just don't... Oh, thanks, OG Brick. Patreon link. Well, for like over here, I've been asking you that you guys put your links in the... I'll look it up. So here's the thing. Oh, the link should actually be in the description of the video on YouTube. It should be there. But OG Brick's got it posted. Thank you so much, OG Brick. That's the link to the Patreon. All right, I think I have a... This one right here, number 4. Now, these bottles don't correspond with the things. This is just display to make it look cool. I don't know what I'm drinking. This is totally blind. So let's get into it. I'm going to try to make this flight not take too long. OG says the link in the description works. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty freaking good. So yeah, I'm going to try to go through this quickly so we can just hang out and chat. These are all going to be amazing. I did the KC Burr Rye with Total Wine store picks, and it's okay so far. One night it was good, next night it was uneven. Well, that's awesome you did store picks because then you get the higher proof. Ooh. The one that I thought was weakest on the nose so far is the best on the palate. This is the one I thought was best on the nose. Let's see where it fits in. I'm going no water. I'm just raw dogging these. I'm getting wild tonight.
That's what she said.
Oh. I tell you what, you can't go wrong. There's not a bad bourbon up here. I feel like Booker's is getting a bad rap lately. And I think it deserves it at the $100 price point, which is ridiculous that it's gotten that high. These used to be $75 in Minnesota, and it was one of those bottles that I just always walked past because I took it for granted because they would have every single release, multiples every single time on the shelves. And I never got around to it. And then they got super popular out of nowhere. So these are the only two I've ever actually owned. I think they're great. I got these at Sam's Club for like 82 or 86 bucks. At that point, I'll pick them up, but that's about it. Let's go the other way now here. By the way, of course, I will be blending these all at the end. Oh, that's amazing. You really just, like I said, you can't go wrong. There's not a bad one here. Let's see, I missed a comment or two. I heard a podcast yesterday that picked KC12 over Russell's Reserve 15 in a blind. Both are fantastic. The Russell's Reserve 15 is next level for me. That's one of those ones I'm assuming I will probably never have. I did get to have a small pour of the 13, but I've never seen those anywhere. Regarding infinity bottles, have fun. I do one with just neck pours. Have fun and be careful. Some bourbons will dominate the infinity. But I would imagine. Thomas Anderson, cheers from mid-Michigan tonight. So Thomas, you're down in the Mitten part, I'm assuming? Is that what that means? Okay. Agreed. Don't put a rye in an infinity bottle. I can see that. One more sip here. California Booker's usually 100, but you can find them for 75 from time to time. When the releases stick around for a few months, even for 75, I have to hear amazing things about them to be tempted. Well, between Lansing and Flint, okay, farm country, nice. I've only been to Detroit and the Upper Peninsula down to like Mackinac City. That's my experience with Michigan. The UP is beautiful. All right, so I think I have a clear winner here already, and it's whatever this one is. Again, if you didn't hear it before, the glasses that I'm drinking behind here are not the bottle that's in front of them. My Glens are all mixed up. They're labeled on the bottom, so I don't know what I'm drinking here. So thanks again for joining me, you guys, tonight. Like, I was kind of wondering, it's been a couple weeks since Greg and I have done a live stream, just because Greg is also very, very swamped with his job right now. And so, you know, when you don't go for a couple weeks, it's been like, I mean, I did a live stream on the Whiskey 6, but I think it's been like the last 3 weeks surrounding that one that we weren't live. So, you know, never know if you guys are coming back or not. So thanks for being here. Russ L. sipping a Booker's Kentucky tea that I just got today. It's a warm one. Which one is that? I don't know what they are by the name. This one is the Springfield batch. That's the 2024-01. And the 2023-04 is the Storyteller batch. (2022-03). Okay, nice. Ooh, that one, I don't know. This one may be falling out of the top. This is difficult to do when you're just like rifling through them. It's also getting real hot. I just killed my Charlie's batch and it was just kind of meh on it. It seems like I'm hearing more and more now that people are just not on board with Beam products, which is weird. Like, I think the Knob Creeks, you cannot go wrong with the store picks. I've never had a bad one. Oh, speaking of which, I do have the Elijah Craig B524 coming up. And just a slight preview here, we may have another C923 situation on our hands. So, may get shredded for my review on it. Not to say I didn't like it, but I had opinions on it. Okay, I got to figure out which one of these is the winner. Piper John, don't worry about lives being regular or not. I turn on notifications. If I'm not busy, I'll watch. If I'm doing something else, you just have one less viewer that evening. Perfect. Blinds are fun and interesting, but not an exact science. Absolutely true. Let's see. Palate is so influenced by what you have before it, and barrel proofs will blow the palate out pretty quickly too. Yeah, I'm kind of having that experience now, but I will say the one that I like the best the first time through, I think is my winner. Man. This is a tough flight because there's just not a bad bourbon up here. You know, I mean, you just can't go wrong with any of these. All right, let me narrow down these two, and then we'll get to the reveal here, and then we'll just chill. Probably have more Beam bottles than any other distillery, at least to tie with BT or MGP. Yeah, it's easy to load up on MGP for sure. I have more Maker's Mark than I should. It's technically a Beam product. Technically, I guess they're owned by them, yeah. Talk later, everyone. Got to get making dinner for the family. My palate would be done with this flight. Then I'd be sweating buckets. Well, Dean D, thanks for hopping in here. I'm just so underwhelmed with the KC12. It is the KC12 cask strength. So it's 12-year, 120.5 proof. This, I wish, I got this from a friend, but I wish I had backed this up because these came out and they had a bunch of them. And I did not get an extra one. I really regret not doing that because it's excellent. All right. Okay, I think I've got my order. So, here we go with the, I think don't I have a drum roll here? Come on. I gotta have a drum, I've got the timpani, how about that? Okay, so, for the last place in the flight, it is, I can't even. Oh, okay. It is the Knob Creek single barrel. Okay. So this one came in last place. Interesting because it is the least expensive and easiest to find. But I got to tell you, this is a damn near neck and neck. I mean, these two, my third and fourth, were basically a coin toss. And like I said, there's not a bad bourbon on here. It's like when you do a flight of all awesome bourbons, it's like it sucks for the last place because it's last place, but then it's also still an amazing bourbon. So let's get into my third place here. What do we got? It's Booker's 2020-401, the Springfield batch. Is that stupid drum still going? Okay. So coming in third is one of the Bookers. So that means we've got the 2023-04 and the Knob Creek 12. Let me grab some chats here. All right, let's see. I don't know the cast strength. It depends on the level of nut for me.
That's what she said.
On Beam products, if the note hits like peanut butter, I'm good. If it hits stronger, then I'm out. Yeah, every once in a while you do get those ones that it's almost like a salted peanut shell, and that can get a little overwhelming. Like I love Evan Williams Bottled and Bond for, you know, just a good cheap bourbon, but it does get a little overwhelming. Like I think Heaven Hill definitely has that vibe too, especially in the Evan Williams. What I have is always in flux. I have a room of about 20 bottles on my shelf. I only replace a few bottles on the regular. Otherwise, when I kill a bottle, I buy something new and different to try. That's a good system. That's how this all started out. Let's see. Okay, talking back and forth. Okay, let's find out what the, I'm not going to do the stupid drum roll. What second place is. Well, then we find out what first place is, because then we know what second place is. First place is the Knob Creek 12. So there we go. And yep, the 2023-04 in second place. So to sum it up, last place, third place, second place, first place. So the Knob Creek 12 coming slamming home here. But you know, this is not going to be a complete bourbon note situation here until I do the blend. I'm going cascading style here, glass to glass until the last. Ooh, I just made up like a wrap or something. All right. And then you end up with this nice little pour of amazing whiskey. So at some point, hey, tell you what, I'll include a pour of this in tonight's raffle. So again, if you want to get into the raffle at the end of the live stream, throw a $5 super chat, or if you subscribe to the Patreon, if you subscribe at $3 level, you get 2 entries on every raffle every single month for $3. $5, same thing. You get 2 entries. You get 1 entry for $3, 2 entries for $5, 3 entries for the $7, 4 entries for the $10, and 8 entries for the $20. So 480, is that the proof? Yeah, probably. You know, I need Greg here to, maybe I should just have him on standby, like phone a friend, like, Greg, hit me with the proof on these. Oh, and by the way, the other thing I didn't mention about the Patreon drawings, you don't have to be present in the live stream to win them. If you're not here and you win, I'll just shoot you a message on Patreon. So, a lot of chances to win stuff for very little money on the Patreon. Beam special releases, especially their high ages at reasonable prices, have been hitting a lot of home runs recently. I feel like they have some momentum with enthusiasts. See, that's what I was kind of thinking too, Dylan, but then I was like, I listen to a lot of people, like a lot of my friends and stuff, that just currently are not having Beam stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. It seems like it's, I don't know, maybe it's just a 50-50 thing. Those Jim Beam single barrels at 108 proof for like the 35, 40 bucks that they are, those are good. And those do vary a bit because the last one I did have was pretty nutty. Piper John, all right, a $5 entry. You know, Piper John, you could have gotten 2 entries on every single one for the month on the Patreon, but I appreciate the $5. I'm going to write this down so I remember to do this. $4.99 for Bourbon School. We'll call that a $5 entry. Bourbon School is already on the wheel for being on the Patreon, but we'll add another one. Bourbon School. I'll just put BS. All right. Well, thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate it very, very much. Okay. So let's do this. Let's do the Knob Creek 12, since that one's kind of hard to find. What else did I have? I got the Bernheim Barrel Proof. That one is not available anywhere or everywhere, so I thought that might be a good one. And I can throw in the B524, but I feel like I was going to throw in the Four Roses. So let's do this. Let me switch to, well, here, let's get the blend out of the way, and then I'll switch the bottles out to the ones that are going to be in the drawing tonight. And so I ordered a bunch of sample bottles that are shaped like mini liquor bottles. Now these are airplane bottles. So they're not a full 2 ounces, but they're more than 1.5 ounces. They're like an ounce, like 1.7 ounce or something like that. So you'll get just a smidge under a 2 ounce. I ordered a specific style of bottle in a big amount just for, and I want to get little stickers and put on, so all that kind of stuff going on. So I feel like Knob Creek, and I just never vibe. I even have a single barrel pick from, lost him there, from Fred. No, it's just barely okay. Wow. I have yet to have a Booker's, waiting to find one on a deal. 120 proof, okay, these are my fave. Oh, by the way, OG Brick. So I know you have that 10 Mocha Stave makers. I was talking to a guy at Haskell's. Bourbon Syndicate, $5. Let's see, I am live. How can I need an intervention? Well, that's 2 BSs. Now I got to write this out. Okay. Thank you very much, Rusty. So anyway, OG Brick, the guy at Haskell's was telling me, because they have more of those in now. So the 10 Mocha Staves, like once you pick a single barrel combination of staves, you can't do it anymore. And apparently Maker's Mark stopped letting people pick all 10 staves, because what they're doing, like Maker's 46 is all 10 of one particular stave. What I do have coming up that I haven't opened yet is this new 2024 Maker's Mark The Heart bottle. And this one is 10 of one of the other staves. So what I'm assuming is their new wood finishing series might end up being just a bunch of releases that are all 10 staves, and maybe that's why they discontinued the Mocha staves. So that Mocha stave one that you have, OG Brick, probably would have ended up being a special release. I'm guessing. I'm going to do some more research into that. But I guess their wood finishing series this year is going to mysteriously have the same amount of releases as they have staves, and the first one was all 10, I think, toasted French staves or whatever. So look out for that one. That'll probably be in the next raffle. So again, if you want to hop on Patreon, $3 will get you an entry, $5 will get you 2 entries, and it's for every raffle that month. So you probably get like 2 entries into at least like 2 to 3 raffles. So, ooh, the heart, looking forward to your thoughts. Have you had that, Mike? Okay, let's, Thomas Anderson, Bookers are getting expensive. I agree. The only reason I bought these is because I got them at Sam's Club for $86, as opposed to the $100 and $114 that they usually sell for around here. Really like the heart release, okay. The Mocha staves are no longer offered at all. It's now Frenchman. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm wondering if that's why they got rid of them, because that one store picked all 10. Now they can't do any special releases that have all 10 staves, because once you pick that your combination in a private barrel, that release is done. So, yeah, you may be sitting on a huge unicorn there. Hit that like, y'all, and 5 gets you an entry into the raffle. Hey, Bourbon School is going live tonight, by the way. I forgot to mention that. What time are, Brian, throw it in the comments here, what time you guys are going live. And remember to include that it's Eastern time. So yeah, $5 gets you an entry into tonight's raffle. But again, Patreon, it gets you 2 entries into every raffle for the month for as long as you're signed up. And there's more and more depending on what level you sign up at. So if you want to throw a 5 out there, there you go. There's the Patreon link. And again, that's going to help me out a lot, because this channel, spoiler alert, operates at a massive net loss. And so now that I'm doing this all by myself, you know, the financial burden of it is solely on me now as well. So you guys that have signed up for Patreon, any level, that helps out a ton. And the other thing is it makes me look cool, you know, when I have people on the Patreon, because then people come by and say, oh, look at all these people signed up to this Patreon. Maybe I'll do it too, you know? And so that's what I'm going for here. Let's get into this blend, and then I'm going to get into the raffle. I'll put the bottles out here that we're doing. Spoiler alert, they're all good. So Bourbon School, okay, Bourbon School is going live tonight on their channel. It's at Bourbon School 101, I believe, or at Bourbon School 100. I don't know. Just search Bourbon School on YouTube. You're probably already a subscriber. Or you can go ahead and throw a link in there, somebody. So they're going live at 9 Eastern. So an hour after I get done with this stream. That'll give you time to take a break, go get some food, loosen up a little bit, and then hop on with Brian. And is Lauren going to be on tonight, Brian? Let us know. You know, for all these bourbons being as great as they are, this is not a great blend, which is weird. That happens sometimes. That's the fun part about making those blend videos that I do on the Patreon. Again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but Bourbon Note at 7, Biden at 8, Bourbon School at 9. What an evening. Perfect. Exactly. I love it. But yeah, this just comes across as like, maybe it's because these are all so good on their own, and I don't think they balance well. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong. If I bought a bottle of this, I would like it. But compared to all of these on their own, these are just better on their own. Sometimes I also will take, on blend videos, I'll take whatever I reviewed that month and blend all that together. So that's kind of fun as well. Let's see, all that proof is too much to handle. Yeah, I mean, these are all in the 120s, so we're over 480. What did Hatfield say about Haskell's? Why can't I? Haskell's is fantastic for rye picks. Just got a 5-year Wilderness Trail rye. That's Chef's Kiss. All right. I've never had Wilderness Trail's rye before. Lauren and Marie Ann. Okay, well, you guys definitely... Brian, you're a mod. Feel free to throw a link for that stream into here. I mean, I know you're not going on right after me, but if people want to copy and paste it or something like that. But yeah, definitely go check out Bourbon School tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Mike Leggy Whiskey bets on if Biden sounds like he followed and drank along with Ben. I don't think I'm in that bad a shape right now, but you know, I mean, if he sounds like he was blending 4 cast strength bangers, I mean, you know, I would say the chances are decent of that. Anyway, moving along, let's get into the raffle here, folks. You're gonna have to bear with me for a second while I add names to the list. But this is your last chance if you want to throw 5 in for the raffle, or if you want to sign up on any level of the Patreon, we'll get you entries into every raffle I do every single month as long as you're on there. So, all right, what did we decide on? We're going to do the 4 Roses. This is a single barrel proof, 120.4 proof, OBSQ, 11 years, 2 months. So this is a killer 4 Roses. We're also going to do the Bernheim barrel proof, right? Oh, and I got to keep this out here. So this is the Bernheim barrel proof, A224, 125.2 proof. I really like this one. 51% wheat, 37% corn, 12% malted barley. So we'll get that in there. And then we're going to put, since a lot of people were talking about the Knob Creek 12 and this won the flight tonight, we'll throw in a sample of this as well. This is the Knob Creek 12 cask strength. That's the important part, it's cask strength. These came out a couple years ago. I have not seen one since. They were $100. I regret not buying this. It was a limited release. I think the 12s are really good. I know, Rusty, you said you weren't really into them, but the 12s on their own are really good, but the 12 cask strength is fantastic. You're doing well, Ben. Well, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's get into the raffle here in a second. Please hold. Talk amongst yourselves while I get these names on the wheel, because I want to make sure that I get everybody who signed up. Oh, I got to check out where Hatfield's at here. Let's see, my page. I should be able to get this from right here. Okay. Sorry about this part, guys. I want to make sure everybody gets included. I'm doing this by myself. I don't have anybody. I don't have a producer. So I just got to check this real quick. Oh, Rusty signed up too. Okay, thank you, Rusty. I didn't see that you did. So Rusty signed up, so you get 2 more plus the $5. Well, thank you very much for that, Rusty. I appreciate it. Hatfield signed up. All right, so there we go. Okay, so please hold. I'm just going to add these to the list. Pick me. Well, you're in there, Ryan Frank. Oh, then Hatfield commented. Okay, so hold on. I'm using wired mics, and sometimes I got little clips that hold them up here, but I have to unclip when I go get a bottle. Okay, so I need to put on the wheel. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. Now I'm typing. Okay, this is riveting content for those of you that are just getting into the stream here. All right, and then we've got Bourbon School, which with another one. Such a moron sitting here typing. All right. Any last ones that I missed here? All right, let me get these copied and pasted into the wheel, and then I do actually have that booted up. Then you're going to have to watch me sit here and try to figure out how to bring the page up, which is going to be a whole nother disaster, but you know, it's a learning curve here, and so we'll get it figured out at some point. All right, adding to the wheel. So again, you guys, for these, you don't have to be present. Anyone who's in the Patreon, you don't have to be present in the live streams to win this. I'll just send you a message if you're not here. All right, anyone had any good snacks lately? 4 is a single barrel. Band name Garage Sale, hit or miss, or already taken. I don't know if that's already taken or not. All right, okay, so I think we're good here. Let me get, oh, and by the way, I did, I don't know if any, hold on a second. I do have a couple of folks on here that were Patreon supporters and just hopped off like a month ago. And I did include them as well because, you know, they supported us for a long time. And so since I just changed this right after they stopped, I'm still going to include them as well. So let me get to sharing my screen tab. Okay, share. All right, add to stage. Okay, sweet. We've got this going on here. I'm gonna go full screen so I can see who this is. And so we have all the names over here. I have shuffled them quite a bit. Oh, I have to go to the actual, hold on a second. But just to show you guys, I will shuffle them a bunch of times. And if a bunch of them end up right next to each other, I can't really do anything about that because I have shuffled them. So here we go, folks. Let's get the raffle going. Let's see. Okay, so I did not miss anybody. All right, here we go. Click to spin. Jim Harger. All right. Well, Jim, I don't think he's in the chat, but Jim, you are the winner of the samples of the Bernheim Barrel Proof. What is that, A224? These throw me off because they don't use the same dates as the ECBPs and the Larcenies. The single barrel OBSQ and the Knob Creek 12-year cask strength. So there we go, folks. Samples of these will be going out to Jim Harger. Again, I'm going to do these in pretty much every live stream I do. And again, if you sign up for the Patreon, you'll get your name in every single drawing. So if I do 4 live streams a month, you're in for 4 live streams, however many, you know, if you sign up at $5, 2 entries per live stream all month long as you're signed up for the Patreon. So it's a great deal if you're into the idea of, hold on, let me get this. There we go. If you're into the idea of being part of these raffles, that's the best way to do it because it like quadruples your chances of winning. So, all right, well, we're getting down to the last handful of minutes. OG Brick, thank you for putting the Patreon link up there. Again, the Patreon is just really going to help me out now because it's just me. And so I'm still, the thing is that like it's just me doing the channel now, but I'm not doing any less content. So I'm going to be doing like some more lists and some more maybe challenges and stuff like that. That doesn't require purchasing a bottle, but most of what I'm doing is reviews, and it's usually of something new. So it's, you know, sometimes it's 2 bottles per week because I put out two new videos per week. So I mean that could end up being 8 bottles a month. So it does add up, and your help with the Patreon certainly comes in handy for sure. If nothing else, just help me justify all of this to my wife. That's my sales pitch on that. You'll be you'll be making up for a lot of ground for me in that department. Not that she cares, she really doesn't. But you know, still, like I said, it makes me look cool. So anyway, let's finish up this pour here. Don't forget to go check out Bourbon School an hour from now, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. Why is my scrolling up button not working tonight? It's weird. I'm trying to go back to see if all the comments I missed. Let's see, was that a band name? Congrats, Jim. Okay, so I'm right on schedule here. Well, you know what? That hour went by pretty quick, actually, and hopefully it wasn't a bumbling, rambling mess. My live streams are not all going to be Patreon pitches. Again, I just want to pitch it because I'm overhauling the whole thing. And there is going to be merch added to certain tiers, so if you sign up before I add the merch to it, we'll retroactively send the merch out. I just have to figure out how to go about getting kind of the things that I kind of have on my mind that I want to include on it. So hit the like button. Yes, please do that. ADHD has more than one video on how to hide whiskey from the wife. I have seen those, yeah. I think I'm beyond that. It's pretty tough to hide at this point. So anyway, tomorrow's video is the review of this Four Roses Single Barrel Barrel Strength OBSQ. Spoiler alert, I like it a lot. 11 years, 2 months age stated, 120.4 proof, which I think is considerably more, well, not considerably, like, I think the last one I got was like 110 or something. Great solo flight, it's all good. Thanks, Piper John, I appreciate that. I married a bartender, she knew what she was in for. Nice. That's awesome. She could probably say the same thing too. You knew what you were in for. Marrying a bartender, because I'm sure that, you know, hold on a second. Love the Bourbon Hunt shorts. Thank you, Thomas Anderson. Those are awesome for me to do because it's kind of informative. Like, hey, here's a cool bottle I found, but I can just do those right from my phone. I can upload them in 30 seconds and just have it done. You don't have to edit anything or anything like that. So I'm going to get more of those going too. You kept verbal all stream long. You did a great job. Well, thank you, Ryan Frank. I appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, going forward, guys, just be patient with me, if you will, as far as the reviews go, because doing a review of a bourbon or a bottle, you know, whatever it is by myself is kind of something new. And so kind of looking at how to hit my stride on how to do that. I don't want to ramble too much, but I want to make the videos, you know, I want to get everything out there that I want to say. Again, it's a big change for me going from being able to kind of, you know, having a back and forth banter to just staring at the camera alone in a room and trying to tell you guys about whiskey. But I'm doing my best. They'll get better as we go along. I do have also coming up soon, next week, I'll have the challenge from Bourbon School, the challenge from Deb and Brian at Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiast via Bourbon School, the 7 Deadly Sins of Bourbon. I do have that video filmed, just needs to be edited. So that'll probably be out on either Monday or Thursday next week. Next week, what is the date? Next Wednesday? I should be live next Wednesday because we don't have another Whiskey 6 coming up until next month. But go check out At the Whiskey 6. That is awesome times, awesome to watch. I have fun watching those on the replay, just hanging out with all those guys. So go check that out. Agreed, well done on all fronts. Should have ditched Greg. Just kidding, but the solo went well. Well, I definitely missed Greg tonight, for sure. But having all you guys here participating in the chat makes it a little less awkward. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. So I don't have an ending for my videos. I mean, I guess I kind of do. I just say thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one, because obviously the until next time, see you next time has been retired. Say hello again to you whiskey friends up next. Okay, so you end here. Go watch Hello Again Whiskey Friends, and then at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, go watch Bourbon School. Perfect. The entertainment never stops. So, all right, well, I'm going to get out of here, folks. Thank you very, very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.